Hey, what's up, Zingers? It's Jonathan Mallard here with the Benzinga Pro team. And, we've just been hearing from you guys about how you would like some more information on block trades. So we've got the pro team here. We've got Brent Slava, head of our news desk. Ryan Faluna, it's his debut here on our video. So really excited to introduce Ryan. And we'll come back to you in a second, Ryan. And then Stephen Orr, aka Big Beat. So you've probably seen him on some other videos. He's got 28 years of trading experience, and he also is putting a whole bunch of good information into the Benzinga Pro chat. So Ryan, you're on the front lines with the Benzinga Pro users. You hear what people need, what people are having trouble with, and so tell us a little bit about what you've been hearing with block trades.
Thanks, Jonathan. I do hear a lot about block trades. The three main things that I hear are: one, what is the significance of a block trade? Two, is the block trade a buy or a sell? And three, how do I use a block trade to make a chain or make a trade in what I'm doing?
Awesome.
We got some smart Benzinga Pro users out there. Those are great questions.
We do.
Yeah, absolutely. And so maybe do you just want to show our users here how to maybe find some block trades?
Yeah, sure.
And we've got our platform open right here.
Absolutely,
sure. Signals tool.
So there's a couple ways that you can find block trades. You can find them in the news feed, but the way that we're going to highlight here is through our signals tool. And if you are getting the block trades or whatever automated service through Benzinga Pro is, you can get it in the newsfeed also. It's the same as the block trade, as the signals here. And so on the left side here, this is the signals panel. At the top there, you can see a bunch of the selections that you can make. You can select the actual signal that you want to see. You can select price spike, option activity. There's a block trade, the one we're going to talk about, et cetera, et cetera. You can do some filtering. You can do some notifications. Right now, we're just going to start basic. And we're just going to click that block trade. And what you're going to see here is, so what we're looking at here is probably 30 of these alerts, let's say. You can see the timestamps there to show you exactly when that block trade happened. You can see the tickers there to show you which stock the block trade happened. And then you can see some actual details of the block trade. So let's just use this AMD one here as an example. Ooh, nice. Thanks for the zoom in there. And so what happened out there live in the marketplace is a big buyer, a big seller, maybe reach out to their broker and they said, hey, we want to do something with our AMD position. The specialist works out and, get some interest from the other side. Basically, they smash together this big block. And in the case of AMD here, it looks like 606,000 shares were traded at this block. And you can see there's exactly when the price was happening for that block trade. And then another significant piece for this alert is it'll show you if the action was coming from the ask side of things or the bid side of things. And you can see a couple down, actually, if you scroll your mouse down a couple there, Jonathan, you can see this AMD one. Go down one more. This 742,000 shares, this actually happened above the current ask. And so, Big B, why don't we swing it over to you? And what's the significance if we're seeing, at the ask, at the bid, in this example of the 742,000 shares, what does above the ask mean there?
Well, it means that someone's very bullish. It means that they don't care where the price is. They're looking to buy in. Above the ask, that means, as we all know, a zero sum means someone has to be buying, someone has to be selling. But in this situation, as you're now showing, the 742,200 shares at $32.91, at $32.87, this person is really buying. This big of a block, lots of lots right there. It's obviously telling us that it is an institution that is probably buying here. And I doubt that a retailer is buying. And so if they're buying, so am I. It also tells me a few other things. When it says above the ask, it tells me that they're very bullish. That means someone was trying to sell at the ask, trying to sell us something, but they didn't care. They just wanted to be in the market. One of the cool things about Benzinga Pro is if you click on the AMD, the symbol, you'll see that we have a details page popped up. And for me as a trader, I'm always looking to see the direction of the stock as well as why they buy at that certain time. And for me, luckily we have you, Brent, the news desk guy. So those are news behind it. I'm always looking to see if there were option plays behind it as well. But there were three massive block trades here. And if we look today, we will see three major green spikes. So it's a very bullish day.
Yeah,
So,
check this out. Right here at 11:50, we see a big green candlestick there. And that's the exact time that that huge block trade came in. Let's see here, above the ask, 11:50 and 23 seconds. So that's pretty cool there that you can see that how it really matches that big green candlestick. That's that block trade.
Yep.
And just to put some of this stuff in perspective, I mean, if we're talking about 600,000 shares in AMD at $33, that's almost a $20 million trade. This is no chump change by any means. And so, you know, a couple things that you just hinted at there, Big Beat. When we see block trades, you have to guess it's never going to be a retail investor. It's very, very, very unlikely that a retail investor would be out there looking to, you know, buy or sell $20 million in AMD. So when you see these kind of block trades, institutional interest, you got to understand that there's an institution out there somewhere for some reason. We don't maybe necessarily need to know the reason, but they are showing a ton of interest.
Right.
Yeah. And so you guys talked about how that above the ask, that's really bullish. Now, so if we just scroll down here to ANGI,
Angie's, yeah.
I see this is below the bid. You know, so we had above the ask, now we see below the bid. So is that basically just the opposite?
Yeah, they're trying to get out of the position, to be honest with you. That block trade happened at 11 o'clock. We'd probably see, if we look at the chart, probably see it starting to fall back at that point. Like Brent said, 561,000 shares trading that number. That is an institution, or as we call them, toots. They are selling at that point at 1380. Look at that big red candle to the downside there. And below the bid, they're just trying to get out of that position. They're scared. Or they're trying to get out. So, you know what? If you had sold at 1380 with them, if you saw that signal coming in, you sold with them, you would have made money today.
And so the one thing that I would recommend is, you know, like you can get a feel right away if you get that below the bid or above the ask. You don't always get those alerts. As you can see over here on the left side, we're looking at signals.
Right.
So you can use that right away. But the best thing I could probably recommend is, like, if you see a block trade, maybe you're already looking at a company and you see a block trade, start watching the stock right away. Right after you see that block trade, pull up the chart, click over to the details tab there and start watching the stock. And if you see, you know, a block trade and there's no indication, it's not saying if it's below the bid or above the ask, watch it. And if it starts creeping lower, maybe you can guess that block trade is sort of like seeping into the tape now.
That's great. Let's see. And so this is the overview chart. One way that you could look at that on Benzinga Pro is you could just click on this chart tab here, and then you could make it a shorter time frame. So you can see, you know, in seconds or minutes there, go into this 1 minute chart. You know, it could be easier to see what's going on.
True. Absolutely. So one thing that I will tell people who seem to have like an affinity to block trades and they're really interested in it, and it's a little more work, but you can get some value out of it. If you see a big block trade, like look at this one here in CX, 2 million shares. It's a low price stock, but you know, still a number of shares. What you could do is you could look at a list of some major holders of the stock, and you could make a deduction that maybe there's only a few funds out there that have a position currently large enough that they could do something like 2 million shares in CX. And so if you can sort of like deduce and say, okay, there's really only like 3 funds out there that would be able to buy or sell in this way, maybe what you can do is like understand what that fund is like. Do you know that fund is, you know, crazy bullish on CX? And even though the block trade didn't give you an indication of upside or downside, you can sort of deduce it might have been a certain fund, and you know they've been buying the stock for a really, really long time. Maybe they're adding to their position here.
That's a great point.
And again, it's a little bit more work. but it might be worth a little extra research sometimes.
And
And you
Jonathan,
can also go back and check your work too. If you're looking at the charts, you'll also be able to see in the bottom there, you'll see the volumes too as well. The volume bars are right there on the bottom.
Yep.
You can see those positions coming in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great point.
What were you saying, Ryan?
I was going to say, if you just click on the details tab on the right, if you click on overview, you'll notice that the block trades that you guys are talking about are listed right beneath when you have all selected. And this actually may be very helpful in terms of filtering out the noise. If you have other options selected in your signals trade and you saw one of these huge block trades, if you have the details tab open like you do here, you can see some of the other block trades that were made either on the same day or soon before.
Right.
So it's just an easier way to filter it out and try to see what those block trades are actually doing to the stock.
Yep. Good point, Ryan. In fact, you'll see that there are other block trades around it even today.
Yeah, right. And you can also get a feel like AMD. I watch the Newswire all day. I watch Signals all day. And like AMD is a stock that has a lot of block trades often. And so if you're like sort of keeping up with the pace of the block trades, you might be able to get a feel for like the direction that it's going. Are people, getting lighter at the bid? Are people wanting to buy more when they're seeing an ask price, for example?
Yep. And a lot of times, if you're not able to catch that price movement within that certain stock, one of the cool things about our details page is we have a peers section as well. You click on the peers and you can also see, is the whole sector moving up? And in this situation, we know that AMD is pushing up, but are there any sympathy plays to play with that block trade? Maybe look for other plays out there. And so in this situation, they're all green today.
That's a good one, Big Beat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, anything else before we wrap up this block
That's
trade?
a good one. Yeah.
I don't think so. It was just kind of a nice little discussion about something that, a lot of our Benzinga Pro users have been asking us about. So we thought, hey, why don't we just get on the horn here and bash out a quick video?
Yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah. And we're listening to you guys. So if you want to hear more, always reach out to us at vipaccounts@benzinga.com. You can set up a meeting with me or with Big Beat or with Ryan. We'd love to chat with you more and make more cool videos like this. So have a great day and happy trading.